Sunlight is made up of tiny packets of energy called photons. Every minute, enough of this energy reaches the Earth to meet the world's energy demand for a whole year. Photovoltaic panels consist of many solar cells. These are made of materials like silicon, one of the most common elements on Earth. The individual cell is designed with a positive and a negative layer to create an electric field, just like in a battery. As photons are absorbed in the cell, their energy causes electrons to become free. The electrons move toward the bottom of the cell and exit through the connecting wire. This flow of electrons is what we call electricity. By combining solar cells and photovoltaic panels, we can produce just the right amount of electricity to perform a specific job, no matter how large or small.
Every hour the sun's energy falls on the planet is equal to the amount of energy used by the entire human population in 1 year. The energy from the sun is in limitless supply. Unlike oil or gas, solar power is a reliable source of energy whose prices never fluctuate. Solar energy is free. How does it work? Solar electricity is generated using photovoltaic cell technology that has been optimized over years of research. Simply put, the greater the intensity of the sun, the greater the current of electricity. Solar panels collect sunlight and turn it into direct current or DC electricity. Even on cloudy days, your panels will absorb sunlight. The system's inverter then turns this DC electricity into the same electric current that comes from your traditional utility lines. Your solar electric system is connected directly to your utility power supply so that the excess power from your solar panels will be fed back to your local utility company. Why BEP? We offer incredible cost savings and an easy installation process. We'll handle everything from planning and installation to getting you all available federal and local incentives. With BEP, switching to solar is easy, affordable, accessible, and a smart investment. Contact us for your free site assessment and consultation. Get in touch with us today to learn more about our no money down, no interest for a year special offer. Solar energy. Our planet needs it. Your future needs it. Your business needs it.
Solar PV systems work by capturing the sun's energy using photovoltaic cells. The cells convert the sunlight into electricity, making a major contribution to powering your home. PV panels don't need direct sunlight to work, and they still produce electricity on the most cloudy of days. Now, let's take a look at the process step by step. Light shines onto the PV panels and creates a direct current of electricity. The DC current then flows through an inverter, converting it into alternating current. This is the type of electricity you use in your home. From the inverter, the electricity travels through a generation meter to your mains consumer unit, where it connects to your everyday appliances. The solar energy powers your home in exactly the same way as it would from the grid, except it's free and is always used before any power from the grid. At night, or if there isn't enough power from the panels to meet your needs, your normal electricity supply continues to make sure everything runs as normal. Any solar power you don't use flows back into the grid for someone else to use. This whole process you are paid for, earning you money through the feed-in tariff and reducing your energy bills. Please visit the rest of our website for more information or get in contact with us to arrange an obligation-free survey.
Are you spending a large portion of your paycheck each month on a high electricity bill? Over the last 30 years, utility rates have continued to increase by about 6% per year. Unless you stop turning on your lights, using your kitchen, and washing your clothes, it'll just keep getting more and more expensive. And that's the bad news. But here's the good news. You have a choice. You can now tap into the sun's natural energy and use it to power everything in your home without having to write a big check to a power company at the end of each month. Here's how it works. Every day, sunlight will stream down onto your solar panels with photons, which are particles of sunlight. Then, the solar panels convert those photons into electrons of electricity using photovoltaic cell technology. The amount of electricity generated depends on the intensity of the sun, but even on cloudy days, your solar panels will still absorb sunlight and generate you energy. Once the energy is transferred from the sun, it flows from the solar panels to an inverter that converts the raw electricity into ready-to-use electricity for your home. You don't have to do anything. What's even better, solar electric systems can produce more electricity than your home needs, and the extra you do not use goes back to your utility grid. This is called net metering, and you'll be able to enjoy watching your utility meter spin backwards. Then at night or on cloudy days when your solar system is not producing enough energy for your home, you will be able to draw power down from the grid, so you never have to worry about running out of electricity. And if you are producing more energy than your household requires, then you'll get a credit from the utility company. You'll feel good about your solar investment, not only because it will provide you with a lucrative annual return that you can rely on, saving you thousands of dollars on long-term utility costs, but because you'll be doing your part in providing a safer planet for you, your family, and future generations. Best of all, it's a lot more affordable than you might think. If you're ready to stop wasting money on high electricity bills and start harnessing the free power that's available to you right now, just give us a call. Mention this video and our friendly team will be able to answer all your questions.
Good morning and welcome to the solar shed. I've just been having a bit of a, it's a bit bright isn't it, just been having a bit of a clean down today, the panels. All the birds have been buggers, they sit above my wire and they poo all over the panels. Having a bit of a clean down and clean the car because it was a big old week this week. And I was just looking at the panels and I thought, I talk about the panels when I'm with a customer as to why they're so good. So I thought I'd show you what makes our panels, and you know, we're not the only company that has a good panel. There's lots out there, and there's lots that don't. So I thought I'd just show you something about panels. So look, here's a cross section of a panel. Okay, or not cross section, a sample. So there's 4 cells there. Now, typically a panel's got 60 of these cells. But let's look really close. See those little wires? All those little wires there, yeah. Now, they are like imagine a panel as a series of roads, yeah, and the photons, the light, generate electricity by hitting the silicon, which creates the electrons, and they have to flow. The electrons have to flow, like cars have to flow, yeah? So imagine all those little tiny wires here. They're all like the B roads, where the villages are. And these wires here are like the A roads, and they have to join to the next one so the traffic can flow. And then at the end of the A roads, you've got the dual carriageways. And then the dual carriageways are connected to the motorways. Well, that would be the wires that connect the panels together, so they eventually go into the inverter. And imagine the inverter, which converts the electricity into usable electricity, is like the car park for the city, and your house, or the factory, or the shed, is the city. Now, if a teacher can't get to work, then a class closes. That means all the parents have got to stay at home, which means, like, the milkman might not be able to get in because he's got to stay home and look after the kids, or the postman, or the policeman, or, you know, the fireman, or the secretary, or the company director, because they've got to look after their kids. So, if the electricity can't flow down these wires, there's going to be a knock-on effect somewhere else down the line. So if you put shade across them, then the electricity can't flow. Now, some panels are going to burn out. All the cars would back up and there'd be a hotspot. Well, that's the same with electricity. It would back up and it would cause a hotspot and panels burn out. So good panels have what's called a 3-bypass diode. And the diode allows that panel to allow some of the electricity to flow through. It sort of jumps across from panel to panel. And then the other side of it is the quality of the roads. Now, imagine having potholes in the road. If you've got a pothole in the road anywhere along here, that means that the cars can't travel as quick, so there's a backlog of cars getting through. So whilst the city still functions, it's not going to function as well because people are getting there late and there's not quite as many people at the right time and it's not quite singing in tune. And that's the same as panels. So when you've got good quality wires, which are made of silver, silver's the best conductor of electricity, that's fine. But a lot of companies, to reduce their costs, and this isn't the solar company, this is the solar panel manufacturer, and so a lot of sales companies who go on volume and go cheap, and they're out there, what they do is they'll have a panel then they're not actually familiar with, or they don't understand. They bought it on price because they can see the margin is right for their company setup, and that's not a problem. You know, you go cheap, you pay twice. What happens is, if they've got 10% nickel in there, or another material that doesn't carry the current so well, then you're not going to get as much electricity through to your inverter, subsequently not as much electricity through to your city, you know, your house, your factory, your shop, wherever your solar panels are. So yeah, there's a little bit about solar panels, and I use that car analogy because it seems to sort of, people can sort of, you know, relate to that. But, you know, it's not all about price at the end of the day. We're not an expensive company anyway because we've got very, very low market, not low market, we've got very, very short supply chain. You know, iPhone, Renewable Tech, they have got the panels in because they're the importer. We don't have all the sales teams and all the canvases and all the rest of it. So we can actually do a very, very good quality panel product, very good quality fitting for, you know, similar sort of prices as the real cheap stuff. which sometimes puts us at a disadvantage because there's a lot of sales companies out there charging £8 and £9 and even £10,000, £9,000 for a 4 kilowatt solar system. Ridiculous amount of money. You shouldn't be paying any more than 7. In fact, with us you pay a little bit less, but you shouldn't be paying any more 7 for a sensible company with a sensible markup, with sensible profit to make sure the company's still going to be around in a few years' time. Hopefully, the panels will last a long, long time. When they get hot and cold, they start to depreciate. That's why you only get a 25-year guarantee. But I am hearing reports of people losing as much as 4 or 5% per annum in their output. Now, that's like what can be one of two factors. Either they're filthy dirty, there's a bit of shade growing, or they've got a panel which hasn't got quality components within it. Now, if I wanted to make something cheaply, I've still got to design it the same way, but what I'd do is I put inferior components in. But this is all silver, and that's what you get from the Philadelphia solar panel. Hopefully, you've learnt a little bit about panels today. Cheers.